Amanda. Take it away.
Ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. And you know what? Everything you guys kind of talked about is exactly where kind of I was headed. So it's very funny how things get put out into the world and the conversations start. But I got to take my boys to Barnes and Noble the other night. It was just the three of us. My husband was working. We had a nice little dinner, and I was like, let's go to the bookstore. And I know Megan has talked about this a lot, the 5-second rule from Mel Robbins. I know the big thing right now is the let them. I talked about the let them theory. I talked about the who cares theory. But if you ever are looking to dive into getting rid of that fear of that 5-second rule, when you're getting ready to do something and you feel that fearful thought come in, do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, and just do it. And just do it, because that eliminates the mind to play that trick on you that you can't do it. I have been listening to this podcast that I'm really enjoying. And the one that she talked this morning about actually was reframing your thoughts, your limiting beliefs, and your anxiety. So being able to actually physically reframe your thoughts is something that I've been working tremendously on, because it's, the biggest battle. I think it's the biggest battle is 6 inches. It's 6 inches long. It's between your ears. And the longest journey is 18 inches from your mind to your heart. And those two things right there, when I heard that in church, they were talking about the biggest battle is your mind. And it's so true how one simple thought can really overtake you, or you can overtake that thought. So being able to truly reframe, whether you're battling self-doubt, whether you're going through a little bit of imposter syndrome, or you're just ready to stop like being so hard on yourself, getting so down on yourself, then these are the things that you can kind of put into place every day to help those battles. We're gonna have them. Nobody said you're gonna have a day where you don't have to battle a thought. Nobody said you're gonna have a day that you can go skipping through rainbows and butterflies and everything is beautiful. I mean, if you have that, I love it for you. But we all have the storms. We all have the storms that come, because through those storms is how we learn and how we grow and how we come out to go run through those fields of butterflies and rainbows. So really being able to break this stuff down. Wayne Dyer said, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. I'm just going to say that one more time. And it was Wayne Dyer. He said, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And that really made me think, because again, you could have that thought, you can get cut off, on the highway or something like that. And that could ruin a whole day for you, where you could look at that and be like, man, I hope that person's okay. Maybe they had an emergency and they got to get somewhere fast, and wherever they got to go, I hope they're okay. Or, you could turn it into, well, that person cut me off, blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, those simple little things can have such an impact. Alita, Megan, they all talk to us about this a lot, that it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it is what matters the most. So we're all going to get the no's. We're all going to get the people that question. We're all going to come across, the 63-year-olds that say, I can't do this. But you can. It's this battle up here between those 6 inches. I don't know if you guys were on yesterday when Allie was talking about Rory McIlroy with the Masters. 17 years. 17 years of a battle between these 6 inches to get that green jacket on. And as his little daughter sat there, the one thing he said to her, don't you ever give up on your dreams. Don't ever give up on your dreams. And I've talked about this before, as children, I own a learning center. I work with kids every single day. Every single day I hear, Miss Amanda, I'm going to be an astronaut. I'm going to be a firefighter. I'm going to be a police officer. And you know what I tell them? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. But if I personally were to come to you guys and be like, I'm going to be an astronaut, you'd be like, now, Amanda, let's think about this. Do you really have the skills to be an astronaut? Let's think about this. Why? because we allow the junk between those 6 inches to overtake. We allow that self-doubt. We allow that, yes, we have more responsibility as adults, but that doesn't mean we have to take the dreams that are here and put them out there. They're put here for a reason. We are put here for a purpose. But it's up to us to live that purpose to the fullest. Nobody else is going to do it for us. Nobody else is going to hold our hand through it. Nobody else is going to put in the work. That's your job. But what we do have is the support and the encouragement to work through all that. Trish Blackwell, the podcast that I listened to, she said this, and this was a really, really good one. So your perspective will either be your prison or your passport. So however you take that, your perspective on the day, on life, on decisions, on plexus, on your home, on your family, on everything and anything, your perspective is either going to be your prison or your passport. You're either going to take that and run with it and fulfill those dreams, falling and failing all along the way, or you're going to allow it to hold you captive and live life in the what ifs. Well, what if I did that? Well, what if I changed that? What if rather than just taking that initiative, try. At least then you're going to know if it worked or if it didn't work. And if it didn't work, that doesn't mean you're done with it and you give up on it. That means you pivot. You pivot and you try it a different way. She talks about the reframing formula. So with the reframing formula, you have to first, there's 4 steps to it. You have to first notice the thought. That's been a big one for me, is actually being able to specifically recognize the negative thought when it comes into my head. Because I used to just think that it's just life. But it doesn't have to be just life. So really seeing what that thought is. Oh, I missed that bill. Now I have, the late fee on top of it. Now it's going to cost me more to take care of it. Like, notice that negative thought that creeps into the head. Then name what it feels like. What is that feeling now of that negative thought? Here's the hard part. Then you have to neutralize the judgment. And that's one of the hardest things to do, because we are the hardest judges on ourselves. And that's just the truth behind that. That's not something that ever can change. We can definitely alter the way that we speak to ourselves, but we will always be the hardest judges on ourselves. But once you're able to truly neutralize that judgment, then you have to nurture it into a new narrative. All right, I missed that payment. Yes. Now I got to pay the extra $25. However, I'm not going to miss the payment next month, because I see it for what it is. I'm not going to allow it drag me down to a downward spiral. Now I have 5 bills that are late with late payments. No, I'm going to take ownership of it. I'm going to realize what the feeling it gave me. And I'm going to be able to then take that and put a better narrative to it. Some of the stuff she really digs into when you're trying to reframe and those limiting beliefs come in. I'm not good enough. I can't do this. I'm too old. I don't have enough friends. I'm not social enough. We have a laundry list of things that we talk about all the time on here. And honestly, I feel like every time we talk, I hear one that I'm like, oh, I never heard that one before. So there's so many out there that can definitely limit our beliefs, and what that turns into, that then turns into that anxiety. Well, I don't have enough friends to reach out to. I'm going to reach out to the 5 friends that I have, but now I have to expand that to reach more people. Now I have to expand that to get to a new level of people, but that scares me. Well, there comes your limiting belief. There comes your belief of I can't do that because I'm comfortable with my 5 friends right here. But understanding how if you want that next level, then you have to get to that next level. You have to step out of that comfort zone, the next thing. I'm just going to go over a couple of the common hidden limiting beliefs that we go through in life. Um, you know, I have to do everything perfect or it's not worth doing. That was me to the fullest when we first started talking about IPAs and all of these things. If I didn't literally fill out every single block on my IPA, I was like, that's it, I'm done, I can't do it. And I would give up on it. And Kristen would be like, Amanda, knock it off. It doesn't have to be perfect. But I'm like, but in my mind, it does. I have that Virgo mentality of it literally has to have everything filled out to the T. And if it doesn't, it's not worth it. But all that was doing was putting my focus on a limiting belief of I'm not good enough. It was a limiting belief on me of if it's not perfect, I'm not good enough. Therefore, how can I lead somebody else to be able to do something if I can't do it perfect? Then I can't get them to do it perfect. Guys, we're not perfect. None of us are perfect. And that's the beautiful thing. That's where we connect. That's where we reach people. Hi, I'm Amanda, and I am not perfect. I have OCD and I like to be in control, but I'm not perfect. I guarantee you, if we get more raw and real with people in that way, people are going to be like, oh my gosh. Hi, I'm Kimberly. I got OCD too. Nice to meet you. How does your OCD work for you? This is how mine works for me. So you have to be able to recognize these things when they come up. One of the other ones, if I speak up or if I speak to people, people are going to think that I'm arrogant or annoying. How many times do we go to have a conversation with somebody and you're like, they're just going to think I'm that crazy person trying to sell this stuff to them again. And I don't want to be another one of those people. You know, when I first started, this Beachbody was really big. I was watching my girlfriends post all the same stuff for Beachbody, all of them posting the same exact posts. And I'm like, I will not be that person. So you know what I did? I didn't post. I chose not to post because I didn't want to be like everybody else. But all that did was limit me. That held me back because I was watching what they were doing and I didn't want to be them. But rather than checking my thought, changing the process of my thought, I just made the excuse I don't want to be like them. So I just didn't do it. So being aware of that, being aware of, you know, that kind of falls into like the imposter syndrome a little bit. When I hear imposter syndrome, I think of, I want to be like that person. I want to be like that person. But imposter syndrome can also be, I don't want to be like that person. You got to watch for these sneaky things that can creep in. You got to recognize those thoughts. Make sure you see how they make you feel. Get in line with that judgment that's going on in your head and create that new narrative, those 4 steps. It's all about rewiring that brain. You know, the old saying, what do they say? You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Yes, you can. You really can. I didn't realize how much it's work. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you can wake up and be like, I'm going to change my mind. No, you got to put in the work. It takes work. You know, when you hear Alita say she literally listens every day, all day, she literally listens to positive affirmations. She literally listens. Megan listens to Les Brown every single day. They're not just saying that to say it. They literally listen to it every single day. There does not go a day now that I don't start my day listening to some type of positive affirmation, some type of positive way. Brittany Ropp started the Bible group too. Every morning I listen to that. Every morning. I now have created myself a new routine. Rather than waking up and checking my messages to see if anybody got back to me yesterday from my messages, or rather than waking up and jumping on Instagram or Facebook, because that is our avenue of social media. So it's so easy to jump into that, but it's also so easy to get caught in that spiral. Dang, Nicole never got back to me. I thought for sure Nicole was going to get back to me. Now you're starting the day with that negative. Reframe it, rewire it, change it. It's work, but it's worth it. It's worth the work to get through to the other side of it. I can't believe I'm running out of time already. Sometimes I feel like I don't have enough time to talk. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm running out of time. So just again, going over like the reframing those limiting beliefs, noticing it, really becoming aware of the thoughts. Identify it. Identify that negative thought that comes through. Stop. Don't just identify and be like, oh, there it is, and keep going on with your day. Literally, sometimes stop, write it down. Take the 2 minutes. You deserve it for yourself to take the 2 minutes to fully recognize the negative thought. Write it down. Identify how it's making you feel. Remind yourself it's just a thought. It's not the truth. And finding a new way to make it empowering or changing that perspective. Do yourself a favor this week and just try it. Try it. When that negative thought creeps in, recognize it, write it down. Write down how it makes you feel and write down how you're going to change it. Those are the little wires that are going to start pinging in your brain like, wait a minute, she hasn't used this part in a really long time. Why is she starting now? And it's going to try to trick you. And it's going to be like, no, 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 that part's turned off. We turned that part off. We're not using that again. And it's going to be up to you to be like, no, no, we are. Start firing again. Because I got to change it. I got to rewire it. And I got to get these 6 inches. Got to get them back in track. Because it's too easy to allow it to overtake us and spiral us down. But that's what I got for you guys today. Any questions? Anything anybody wants to say?
I wanted to add something really quick. When I first started this, I was big mindset issues. And I ended up going on Temu and buying these stickers for my kids and I. And they were mirror stickers. And my daughter's in their bathroom. There is a sticker and it's like, I am worthy. I am beautiful. I am strong. I am confident. And then I put a sticker in my car on my mirror. I have to get a new one because I got a new car, but on my rear view mirror. And every time I look in my rear view mirror, it says, I am worthy. And those little things do big changes. And so I thought it was really silly. And my husband was like, you need that reminder. Like, but I was like, I do, right? And it's even in, there's somebody tailgating me, right? And I'm looking in my rearview mirror. I'm like, I am worthy. But those things made a big difference for my girls. And just having that in their bathroom in the mornings, I guess my boys too. My boy's about to be 14. He's like, I'm good. I'm a stud. But those things made a really big difference for me and my mindset because I'm seeing it every single day in here.
We
I'm
have
seeing myself while I'm reading it, right?
Yeah. We have I have the like mirror markers in my bathroom. And I was writing like just little reminders, little prayers to myself. And I went in the one day and my son, he's 8, got my mirror markers and wrote himself stuff on there and wrote things on there like, mommy, you're worthy. Like these little, and I was like, dang, like, okay, like they're watching too. I literally have let them tattooed on my hand because when I drive, that's when my 6 inches get to me the most. And I have to remind myself, let them. They don't put their head on my pillow at night. They don't walk in my shoes. They don't do what I do. It's okay. That people pleasing too is such a hard thing to let go of. And especially in a social selling world, we want to please everybody. We want to please all of our customers. We want to please our upline. We want to please everybody. And it's okay that we don't. We're not for everybody. And that's one of the hardest things.
I think the other thing that I wanted to say was that being transparent with the people that are around you all the time, being your spouse, your children, your parents, whoever it is that's around you. I'm very honest with my kids and I will tell them, I had a really long day and I'm feeling this type of way. Help me get out of this, right? And like they feel empowered. And I mean, I'm just very, like I said, I'm very transparent with my kids. They know everything about my childhood. They know everything, all that type of stuff. And I will tell you, it meant more to me with my daughter at the event on Saturday when she handed me that sticker and it said, "Life is tough, but so are you," or some whatever it said. And she put it in my purse. She was like, "You need to keep this." So that constant reminder of showing them, like, I'm human. We are growing together. We are doing this together. I am growing with my children every day. And let me tell you, the person I was as a 19-year-old, having a child, being married, all these things, to who I am now with a 14-year-old, we grew up together. We went through the trials. But you're different with every stage of your life. And that goes with your children. You're different with every child. You're different with every career. You're a different person than you were yesterday. And I think we have to hold on to that sometimes and remember who we were yesterday and what we did yesterday creates who we are today.
Mhm.
Right?
And that's a beautiful thing for that change. A lot of people will tell you, well, you're different. Thank you. Thank you.
And you'll lose people, right? They'll jump off the back
Yeah.
of the bandwagon and be like, bye. I'm like, sorry, you can't handle someone succeeding. Sayonara.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
get on or get off. I don't know what to tell you.
But sometimes it's hard when those people are super close to you and you want that validation from them, but that goes back to your sticker in your rear view. It's not about you, it's about me. I am worthy.
Sorry,
And if you
grow.
can't,
That's not a me
yeah,
thing.
if you can't jump on that with me, then I love you. I'll meet you where you are. I'm gonna keep going.
You gotta let them.
Yes, gotta let them. Who cares? Well,
So I just wanted to add those stickers.
Oh, I love it.
Life-changing.
Thank you. That is, I mean, stickers. I mean, Alita, I don't remember, Alita years ago told us a story about she literally had Post-it notes all over her house. You'd open a cabinet, there's a Post-it note. You'd open the bathroom sink, there's a Post-it note. Rodney'd be like, what is happening, Alita? Like, is this like an April's Fool's joke with like the sticky notes everywhere? But it was affirmations all over that constantly were in her head because you have to get those wires sparked again sometimes. We're so quick to allow the negative side to take over that to kind of restart that positive, it's really hard. But being able to recognize it, write it down, write the feeling that goes with it, and how can you reframe it.
And going back to that Mel Robbins, the 5-second, is it 5-second theory? Is that what
5-second rule.
Okay. So I have implemented that off of just one little clip of her podcast about that book. And it sounds really stupid, but I found myself doing it yesterday. There was a pile of mail that my husband got from the mailbox. And I was like, I'll look at it tomorrow. Like, who wants to look at bills? I was like, no, I'm going to do it now. Oh, I heard the dryer go off. I could get that in an hour. No, I'm going to do it now. And let me tell you, when I laid my head on the pillow last night, I felt so accomplished. I was like, I don't know if it's because I woke up and drank a hydrate before my coffee or what it was, but I'm feeling great. And I was like, it's because I'm stopped that procrastination. Do it now. Do it now. Take that action within 5 seconds.
Yes,
Just do it. Do
it. Get it done.
Yep.
All right, y'all. I hope you have a great week. I'm so happy I always get to be here with you guys. And I will see you guys tomorrow.
Have a good day.
See ya.